What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight we are celebrating the 14-year anniversary of Scream 4. Arguably the best Scream sequel. You guys know it is my favorite sequel out of all of them. I love Scream 4. So many things about this movie to love. So I figured tonight we can share some things that we love about the movie, maybe some things that we don't like about the movie, because I know there are a lot of people out there who don't like Scream 4. I feel like you either love it or you hate it. Although I do feel like a lot of people are coming around to it. I feel like it has that like nostalgia factor now. Um so I feel like a lot of people have been coming around to it. So let me know your thoughts in the chat. But we'll also get into some Scream theories as always. We don't have to just talk about Scream 4. We can talk about Scream 7, predictions we might have for Scream 7, theories that we have. We can talk about the whole franchise as always, and other horror as well. If you guys want to talk about some other movies, we can talk about pretty much whatever we want. Let's see who we have here. Hey, Alex. Oh, I just remembered yesterday you told me about the email, which I meant to check today and I forgot again. But I promise you I will. I will read it. Hey, RJ. Yeah, you gotta watch Scream 4 for the anniversary. I might watch it tonight, although I've been wanting to watch Final Destination lately because I gotta get ready for next month when the 6th one comes out. So we'll see, but I should watch Scream 4 tonight. Hey, Tristan. Hey, Chocolate Ice. Thank you for being here and for moderating. Hey, Paula. Hey, Shane. Antonio said Scream 4 is the first and only Scream movie I've seen in theaters. It's the first one I saw in theaters as well. I will never forget watching that in the theater. It was quite the experience. That reveal, oh my god, like I did not see that reveal coming. Jill's reveal is honestly my favorite after the original. And before Scream 4 even came out, I was already such a massive fan of Emma Roberts and Hayden Panettiere, so that movie just holds such a special place in my heart. Shane says, I love Scream 4. So do I. Derek says, Scream 4 is good. Hey, Ray. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Yes, I just hit 16K like a few days ago, maybe. Yesterday was the celebratory live stream for that. But just again, I will say thank you guys so much for 16K. Like, it's insane. I was saying yesterday how my goal for 2025, like by the new year, I wanted to hit 10K, which I hit a little early, like in December, I think I hit 10K. And we're only like 4 months into 2025 and I'm already at 16K. That's absolutely insane. Thank you, Ray. We have a super chat from Zork. Thank you, Zork. You said, thanks for the Instagram reply. Glad you liked Sarah's response. I also saw Jill's reveal coming halfway through. Charlie surprised me, though. Yeah, that video from Sarah Shepard was awesome. She was very nice with her response. Yeah, so Jill's reveal, like, I feel like either you didn't see it coming at all, or some people do say that they did see it coming. I didn't. I remember being absolutely shook. I don't think I saw Charlie's coming either. Back then though, I really wasn't like obsessed with Scream the way that I am now. So I wonder if I were to see it now for the first time, if I would be able to figure out who the killers were. But honestly, like both of their reveals, the way that it happens are just so good. Charlie's is so good. The way he's tied up, you know, in the chair and the way he just stabs Kirby like that, it's so good. I love it. Thank you, Zork, for always supporting the channel and for moderating. I appreciate you. When do you think the trailer is dropping for Scream 7? I don't know. I feel like at least full-length trailers, I feel like don't drop like they drop like 3 months before the release. So we have a ways to go before we get the full trailer. But a teaser trailer on the other hand, like who knows? Um I kind of wish that they would do a little something soon just because of the fact that they've been so quiet about things. You know, like Nev Campbell didn't even post anything when they started filming or when they wrapped. Kevin Williamson did post when they started filming, but he did not post when they wrapped. So I wish they would just give us a little something, like literally just the logo. Like that's it. Like just release a quick little video with some music and the logo, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a while before we get the full trailer. Tristan says, I've made an AI video of Sydney, Mark, Gatton, and Mason as a family for my version of Scream 7. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I don't know how. You can like email it to me, I guess. My email it should be down below in the description. Are you talking about Gaten Matarazzo or Gatton Matarazzo? I don't know how to say his name. Hey, Paul. Yeah, it was also my first one in theaters, Scream 4. Chocolate Ice says, what I love about Scream 4 is the soundtrack and the reveal at the end. What I hate about it is that it didn't take place at the house instead of the hospital. Yeah, Scream 4 has a really good soundtrack. Like that first song after the title card, it's so nostalgic. I love it. The reveal's good. Yeah, I guess like the whole hospital thing was sort of like an extended version. I think it was initially supposed to end at the house, and they even added a line from Jill, something about that. Like, this is just silly. Like the ending was supposed to be at the house. But gotta love it. Hey, Katie. What Hogwarts house do you think Kirby from Scream 4 would be in? I can't remember off the top of my head what the characteristics of the houses are. But she's very smart. So which house is the clever ones? Is it Ravenclaw? Maybe she would be in that one. She's also brave, so maybe she would be in Gryffindor. Chocolate Ice says, I wish we could go back in time and see Scream 4 in the theaters. Seems like it came out yesterday. Yeah, time flies, man. 14 years? Like, what the hell? And I feel like just yesterday I was doing my anniversary video last year on the channel. I put out something for the anniversary, and I feel like I just did that. Hey, Jamie. Glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping by, and thank you for moderating. Shane says, Jill and Mrs. Loomis best reveals. I definitely like Jill more than Mrs. Loomis. Hers was good too, though. You also said Roman too. I personally don't care for Roman's reveal. You guys know my issue with that is that like Sydney didn't even know who he was. You know, they had no scenes together before the reveal. That's why it doesn't really hit for me. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, I can't believe I'm at 16K. And I'm like, I'm almost at like 16.5. So 17 should be soon. King Bull says the Scream 4 movie is better than 5 and 6. I have to agree with that. Scream 4 is my second favorite. I think my ranking is 1, 4, 2, 5, 6, 3. Hey, Dead Ghost. You said, aren't they releasing a 4K version of the movie without that weird filter they had. I heard something about that a while ago. I don't know what's up with that. That's what I heard months ago. Everyone like no one seems to like the filter on it. It honestly has never bothered me. I almost like don't even notice it when I'm watching it, and it kind of like just adds to the nostalgia factor for me a little bit. I don't mind the filter. Derek says, I went to the theater like 4 times when the first Scream movie came out. Nice. RJ says the evolution of Kirby Reed from Scream 4 to Scream 6 is truly awesome. Yeah, I liked Kirby in Scream 6. I know a lot of people don't. They say like she didn't really have that much to do, which I disagree. I feel like she was in it a good amount. And a lot of people say she feels different from her character in Scream 4. But it's like she's 30 years old, and she was 17 in the 4th movie, so she's going to be a little different at least. But she still had that Kirby feel to her. Like she didn't feel that different to me. I still remember me and my friend's reaction to Jill's reveal watching the first time. That was crazy. Yeah, it was quite the shock in my opinion. Charlie has to be the most brutal Ghostface. Yeah, he's definitely, I mean, Olivia's kill is like possibly the most brutal in the whole franchise for sure. I love Charlie. That's another thing. Like a lot of people don't like Charlie. I love him. He's honestly in my top 5 ghost faces. Shane says Jill reveal surprised me too. Hey, I'll be right back. You said I missed yesterday's stream because I was fast asleep, but I made sure I stayed up for this one. I may fall asleep before the end though. Yeah, it's kind of late. It's almost 9 p.m. my time. That's just lately, like this is the only time I'm able to stream. But I am going to try to incorporate some daytime ones. I know, I have viewers all over the world. A lot of people request earlier streams from me. This week, I think they're all going to be around the same time as tonight. But hopefully next week I can do at least one daytime. Ray says, do you think the mystery gang from Scooby-Doo would figure out who the killer is before the reveal if they were in a Scream movie? I don't know. Do they typically figure it out before the reveal in Scooby-Doo? I feel like they don't. Like, aren't they always surprised when they take the mask off? So, I feel like they probably wouldn't. Scooby-Doo should make a Scream-themed episode. They should. That would be cool. Does anyone here watch the show Supernatural? Do you remember they did a Scooby-Doo episode of Supernatural? That was pretty fun. King Bull says, it's very strange how the new Scream fans had no problem with Kirby coming back after 2 sequels, but they don't like Stu coming back when they had almost the same outcome. I agree. This is something that I've talked about on the channel before. Obviously, Stu is a longer time in between. Like, he's like 30 years. Kirby was, what, 11 years? Or 12 by the time Scream 6 came out. But yeah, like, we thought she was dead for so long, for practically a decade, until they kind of teased. Well, they did tease in Scream 5. There was that YouTube video on Richie's computer where it says interview with Woodsboro survivor or something like that. So yeah, it was over a decade of us thinking that she's dead, but then they brought her back. So why not do the same thing for Stu? And speaking of that little YouTube clip with Kirby that I just mentioned, Stu also had a little YouTube video in the corner of Richie's laptop. So I don't know. Alex says the best part of Scream 4 is the final act, largely because of Jill's psychotic behavior. Yeah, that is probably the best part of the whole movie. She's crazy. Like, to do that to herself, to literally beat the crap out of herself, that's insane. She might be the most insane Ghostface. Scream 4 soundtrack is awesome. It is. You know, also the end credits song, I used to not really care for it, but it's kind of grown on me. Chocolate Ice says I also hated the filter about Scream 4. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. Hey Thomas, you said, do you think they do a small teaser for 7 during the opening of I Know What You Did Last Summer? Like maybe just the title and a slash of Ghostface's knife. They should. I would love that. I mean, I Know What You Did Last Summer comes out in what, July? So by then, yeah, I feel like it's a good time to do at least the teaser. And then the full trailer will probably drop, I think, earliest November, maybe December though. So yeah, I feel like July is a good time to do the teaser. Hey, Slack Wolf. Jamie says the smart ones are in Ravenclaw. I'm in Ravenclaw. Yeah, so I feel like Kirby is pretty smart. Like, she knows her stuff about horror movies. So I feel like she would be in Ravenclaw. Something interesting maybe about Christina, I accidentally clicked on an IMDb link. It said the start of 7 will be set in London. Interesting. I don't know. I feel like that's maybe just like a rumor or something. I don't know. Or maybe that was like the original plan when like Melissa and Jenna were going to be in the movie, because we know Christina was in London. But as far as we know, Scream 7 is only taking place in Pine Grove, Indiana. Hey Curtis, you said, damn, I feel old. I remember watching the first Scream movie in the theater. Dead Ghost says, I agree. They would have been a good twist if Roman would have befriended Sydney first, just like how Piper did with Emma in the TV show since they were sisters. Yeah. I feel like Sydney and Roman needed at least one scene together. At least. They probably should have had more than one. Did you get your tattoo yet? If not, have you decided on a design? I have not gotten it yet, but it's been on my mind. I know I have to do that soon. I did kind of look up some designs. Let me see if I saved it into my phone. I'm looking for something simple and small. Let me see. I think I saved it. I thought I did. Oh, okay. I don't know if you can. You probably can't even see it. Something simple like that, if you could even tell. It's just gonna be like the face of Ghostface. And I don't know where I want it. So, gotta think about that. Hey, Jesse. Derek says Charlie was brutal. He definitely was. Plot twist. Gail is Leslie Mocker. That would be absolutely insane. In your opinion, what horror movie franchise do you think Sydney would not survive in? Ooh, that's tough because I feel like I can't imagine her not surviving. When I read that question from you, my first thought was maybe like Saw, but I feel like she would get out of the trap. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine her not surviving. And then I thought maybe Jeepers Creepers, but I feel like she's so like brave and strong that the creeper wouldn't even smell the fear in her, you know? I don't know. Derek says I love Supernatural. So do I. There was a time years ago, like probably 10 years ago, where I was obsessed with it. I remember watching it a little bit on TV as it aired, but I never like kept up with it. And then maybe 10 years ago, I started binge watching it on Netflix. And I really flew through like the first 7 seasons. And then I kind of got bored of it, slowed down. But I powered through, and then I watched it live on TV as the show wrapped, and I thought that the ending was really good. I feel like the finale of Supernatural was very satisfying. And then I heard that they're supposedly coming back with the show, like a 16th season, which I don't think they should. I mean, it went on for 15 years, which is longer than most shows, and the ending was so satisfying. Why bring it back and potentially ruin it? We have a super chat from John. Thank you. You said, I love that Scream 4 poster beside you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just put it up for today because of the anniversary. Yesterday's live stream, I had the first movie poster, but had to put up Scream 4 for today. Thank you so much, John, for supporting the channel. Let me see, where was I? Derek says, I watched Supernatural on TNT when they have a marathon. All after I saw Jensen as Soldier Boy. Yeah, so whenever it's on it's on TV like every day. Sometimes I'll just put it on in the background. But I don't know. Wait, are you talking about the show The Boys? Isn't he in that? I've never seen it. Shane says Sydney would not survive Terrifier. Yeah, Art's pretty brutal. Maybe that's the franchise that she would not survive. Will there be Final Destination watch parties? I don't know. I've been thinking about it, but I might just throw it on tonight and watch it on my own. I don't know. Hey, Angie. Are you excited for Final Destination Bloodlines? I am. It's just, and I've seen the first 5. It's just been so long since I've seen them that I feel like I don't remember most of what happened, most of the characters, and I feel like, because it's called Bloodlines, and according to the trailer, there's some connections to some of the past characters, so I definitely want to rewatch the first 5 before I see the 6th one, but I am excited for it. Do you believe Charlie did every kill, and who do you think attacked Gail in the barn? So I do think Charlie did every kill. I have talked about this on the channel before, and some people disagree. There's like a big debate amongst fans. I feel like Jill wanted to keep her hands as clean as possible. She was always planning to frame Charlie. So, obviously we see her kill Trevor, and then she kills Charlie. So I feel like in her mind, she was thinking, why should I risk getting caught killing other people until I absolutely have to kill? So I do think Charlie did every kill. So then I suppose he would be the one who attacked Gail in the barn. Um, Although I do have a video on the channel where I talk about the whole Stabathon scene being kind of questionable, where it doesn't seem like Charlie could be the one. And then I have a crazy theory that it could have been Kirby. I know that sounds crazy if you've never seen the video. You don't know what I'm talking about. And it's probably not true, but please, like, check out that video. I think it's like called Kirby's name is in the title of my video. It's like, could Kirby have been a Ghostface or something like that? You know, we were supposed to get a Scream 5 after Scream 4. Jill was going to survive, go to college, and I think Kirby still would have been alive back then because Wes Craven always believed that she was alive. So what if it was revealed and then like in that Scream 5, Jill was going to be at college and there was going to be a new Ghostface stalking her who knew her secret. So what if that was actually going to be Kirby and we just never found out? But, you know, based off of the two ghost faces that we actually got, I'm going with Charlie for attacking Gale. Angie says, I agree that Sid and Roman should have had some interaction for the reveal to pack any emotional punch. Yeah, totally agree. You know, they should have become friends, kind of. And then for Rowan to be like, oh, by the way, I'm your brother, she would have been like, what? And then also, by the way, I'm the killer. It would have just been so much better. Derek says, Charlie was skinny. It was hard to believe he was strong, but I guess he was. Yeah, that's the thing about these movies sometimes. Like, you know, that's my issue with like Amber and Quinn in Screams 5 and 6. But according to the movie creators, they say like size doesn't matter. But I don't know. Shane says Jill definitely attacked Gail in the barn, or it was Stu. Yeah, so funny you bring up Stu because I was going to say to the previous comment from Derek about Charlie being skinny, what if it was actually Stu? Like, you guys know, I definitely think Stu was in Screams 5 and 6. But there's theories out there. What if he was in every single sequel? And I do have a video on the channel about this. So what if Stu was actually in Scream 4 and he did some of those kills? Like with the cops, when the cops die and we get that really great shot of Ghostface, that's like one of my favorite shots of the movie. He does kind of seem tall. So what if that was Stu? I don't know. Slack Wolf says the last time I went to the movie theater was for the Joker because I'm not a big movie theater, but I can't wait for Scream 7. I will be going to the movie theater for Scream 7. Wait, so you haven't been to the movies since the first Joker movie? That's a long time ago. I feel like, didn't that come out in 2018? That's crazy. I'm also not a big movie theater fan. I don't go often, but I'm trying to change that. I am trying to go. I've been wanting to go lately. Shane says Art the Clown would definitely kill Sydney. Ghostface says, my thing is, what's Roman's role in Scream 7. If he's confirmed dead, there's no way he survived a headshot unless someone resurrected him or something. Yeah, I think it's just a flashback. You know, a lot of people think it might be the AI thing, which is definitely a possibility. I'm just not crazy about that idea. I think it's more likely to be a flashback, but it has to be one of those two. Or like a dream of Sydney's, the way she had a dream about her mom. That's a possibility. Some kind of hallucination. He's definitely not alive. There's no way. Ray says that's high praise for Sydney. She truly is one of the best final girls. I think she would have trouble surviving Final Destination or Terrifier because everyone dies in those. Yeah, she definitely is. I mean, she's my favorite final girl. But yeah, Final Destination, that's a good point. It's hard to fight death in that franchise. So that actually would probably be the one that would kill her. I feel like Terrifier, she could survive, you know? Just like we've seen Sienna surviving. Yeah, I feel like I could see her surviving Terrifier. Nicholas says, seems like every other day is the anniversary of a Scream movie, but I'm here for it. Scream 4 has definitely grown on me over the years. Yeah, just because there's so many Scream movies. I feel the same way. Like every other day is an anniversary. I feel like also the anniversaries are pretty close together in the year. Like the first movie came out in December, I believe. Uh, Either the second or third one was February. The fifth one is January, and now April. So yeah, it's just like there's like this run during a certain part of the year where there's just constantly an anniversary for Scream. Alex says, regarding what I emailed you about, I am going to outline it in the chat, but I will have to do so in 2 comments. Okay, you said in Scream 4, Sydney clearly did not have kids or a husband. However, if Sydney's oldest daughter will be a senior in high school in Scream 7, she would have been alive during the events of Scream 4. Do you have any idea as to how Scream 7 could explain why Sydney's husband and kids were not mentioned in Scream 4? And if so, would you be willing to make a video about it? Yeah, I definitely would be willing to make a video about it, especially because I do need some Scream ideas. I've said to you guys yesterday, like, I've been slacking on the Scream videos. I apologize. It's because Yellow Jackets, I've been busy with that show. And then Dexter, there's so much new updates coming out for Dexter. In fact, we just got a Dexter update today. So tomorrow I'm going to have to make a Dexter video. But yeah, I definitely can do a video about this. My thoughts on this are maybe she just didn't want people knowing about her family, like for safety purposes. Like, I feel like maybe Gail would have known and Dewey would have known, but they just didn't talk about it. I mean, obviously, at the time when the movie was made, Scream 4, they probably didn't have this idea in mind that she was going to have kids. So that's probably actually why it wasn't mentioned. But maybe, especially going back to Woodsboro on the anniversary, maybe deep down she was worried that something could go wrong and just didn't trust normal people with this information about her, like Rebecca, her publicist or whatever her role was. You know, she wouldn't trust her with that information. I don't know. I gotta think about it some more and then maybe do a video on it. RJ says, I teared up at the series finale of Supernatural. So heartwarming. We don't need a season 16. RIP Dean Winchester. Yeah, I agree. It made me cry. I thought it was perfect. It was so good, that ending. Yeah, don't bring it back for season 16. I know they tried to do like one or two spin-offs and they got canceled. Like they did one season of the Winchesters or something. I forgot what it was called. And it got canceled. So I don't know. Thomas says Jill killed the cops, in my opinion. Yeah, I know some people think that. I just think it was Charlie. Jill, like, I feel like Jill was already at Kirby's house, but I don't know. King Bull says, I think Scream 7 will start with Sydney's mom and show what happened. Roman will likely be there with Billy and Stu. It will be the ultimate past scene if they do that. I would love that. I'm thinking that's a possibility as well. I did do a video about that on the channel like over a month ago if anyone wants to go back and check it out. But even like a year ago, I did a video on that. An idea for Scream 7's opening scene to be a flashback to Maureen's murder. And like, you know, it seems to be a popular theory right now. So hopefully it happens. Hey Vicky, you said I love your Yellow Jackets breakdowns and I'm hyper fixated on Scream. So seeing you're a massive fan too is so cool. Thank you. I appreciate this. Yeah, I've been really loving doing the Yellow Jackets videos. They've been so much fun and talking about it with all of you guys. I do have another Yellow Jackets video dropping later tonight. So stay tuned for that. You know, the season's over now, so unfortunately I won't be able to do the weekly breakdowns, but I'm definitely not abandoning Yellow Jackets on the channel. I will do like some theories, some predictions. I'm thinking about going back and rewatching the show to like notice some new clues. So definitely stay tuned for some more Yellow Jackets content, but I know I owe you guys some Scream content as well. So I promise you Scream videos are coming soon. I said tonight is Yellow Jackets video. Tomorrow I will have to drop a Dexter video because we just got some new photos today. But then what's today? Tuesday. So like Thursday or Friday or this coming weekend, I will do some kind of Scream video. I thank you guys for your patience. But at least we have these live streams to like still discuss Scream because it is my favorite. Even though I've abandoned it for a little bit, Scream's still my all-time favorite. Angie says Kirby would have made a great Ghostface. I agree. I think she would have made a great Ghostface. A part of me was hoping that she was going to be revealed as a Ghostface in Scream 6. Obviously, it didn't happen, but Bailey did make us think at the end that it was her. And for just a split second, watching it in that theater for the first time, I was like, oh my God, is this about to be for real? But it wasn't. Hey, Matthew, no worries. You said Scream 4 was okay. My favorite film was Scream 3, in my opinion, because 4 kind of sucked. I love Scream 4. Tom says, I think Charlie did every kill as well, but I do think it was Jill in the barn that attacked Gail. I feel like I gotta rewatch it again with some fresh eyes and see if my opinion has changed a little bit. Hybrid Gamer says Sydney Prescott, Maxine Minks are quintessential final girls. They are natural survivors. The only horror movie I can see them both not escaping is Smile. Nobody's getting out of that. That's actually a good point. Smile is another franchise where it's really hard to survive. So yeah, definitely Smile or Final Destination, I feel like would do them in. Hey, Pirate X, you said, I think Stu, Jill, and Mickey are working behind the scenes to get revenge on Sydney. I would love for Jill to also be alive working with Stu. You know, I think there is like at least a small possibility that could end up happening. As far as Mickey, you know, I know a lot of people out there love him and like think that he could be alive. It's technically possible because he was not shot in the head, but I just don't feel like there's a need for him to be alive. But Jill and Stu, that's like my dream come true. Matthew says, I feel like Gail should have died in 4 to make Dewey being an alcoholic in 5 make sense. Well, I guess back then they were fully intending to do Scream 5, like shortly after Scream 4. And considering Scream 4 was the first Scream movie in like a decade since Scream 3, they probably wanted to keep all of them around for at least another movie or two. So Angie says, my favorite line from Charlie is still, I can put you there in the morgue. That is also one of my favorite lines. Scream 4 Ghostface has a lot of good lines. Like when when Sydney is in Olivia's bedroom and she's on the phone with Ghostface, he says something about like slicing your eyelids off or something like that. That's a good line also. Tristan says, you know, you look like Quinn if only you had red hair. Interesting. I have not heard that before, but I do. I get celebrity comparisons all the time on YouTube and on TikTok. So my number one that people tell me is Vanessa Hudgens and also Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who she was in Final Destination 3. Those are like my top. I've also heard Sienna from Terrifier. I've gotten Lottie from Yellow Jackets. I used to get that a lot on my TikTok, but now on my YouTube, I constantly get Callie from Yellow Jackets. It's so funny. Like, pretty much like any brunette actress I get compared to. And you know, lately I've been thinking about dyeing my hair blonde, but I don't know. So I used to be blonde many years ago. I was blonde for a long time and I decided to grow my hair out. So now this is my natural color. And I kind of want to go blonde again, but I feel like I look better as a brunette. And if I do go blonde, I probably won't get as many comparisons anymore. But I just got a redhead comparison, so maybe hair color doesn't even matter. Let's see. Hey, Brett, you said, holy shit, 14 years. I can't believe that. I know, time flies. Matthew says, I feel like Judy's character was wasted because she gets introduced in 4 in a feud with Gail over Dewey, then dies in 5. Yeah, you know, we didn't spend that much time with her. But I still think she was a great character. Hey, Sebastian, you said you didn't call me and let me know you were going live. I mean, did YouTube not send out the notification? Sometimes that happens, unfortunately. Make sure all your notifications are turned on so that you don't miss it. But sometimes YouTube glitches and doesn't let people know, which is very frustrating. Oh, so Screams 1 and 2 are both in December? I've always wanted to be in a theater full of Scream fans, but like in Scream 2 minus the murder at the end. Yeah. So like when I saw Scream 6, I went very early in the day. Almost no one was in my theater. I went at like 11 in the morning. But this time around for Scream 7, I have to go opening night. So I'm kind of hoping that the theater will be crowded and insane. I want that experience. I want to hear people's reaction when Stu comes on the screen. But hopefully I get invited to the Scream 7 premiere. That is like my goal for 2026. I think Stu was in Scream 2 for many reasons. One, Cece's death. Two, the library threat. If it was Mickey, she would have seen him in the library and asked, was it him playing a joke? Yeah, I am a fan of the idea of Stu being in some of the sequels, but also Scream 2. Like, I do have a video on the channel. I have one that was pretty recent, like 2 months ago, about clues with him being in every single sequel. But I do have one specifically for Scream 2 that I put out like a year ago at this point. I think it's the title of the video is Was Stu Macher in Scream 2? So if anyone wants to check that out, please do. You can find it in my Stu Macher playlist. There are quite a lot of clues in Scream 2. Scream 4 was easily the angriest Ghostface as far as Roger on the phone. He was just angry. The dialogue is better in Scream 5 and 6. Who gives a fuck about movies? Yeah. We've gotten some great Ghostface lines over the years. We have a super chat from Ghostface Sith. Thank you. You said happy anniversary, Scream 4. It's back streaming. I'll be watching today. Shauna would make a good Ghostface. Keep up the great work, Pam, and Stu lives. Thank you so much, Ghostface. I seriously appreciate this. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, it's streaming. Last I checked a few weeks ago, it was on Plex, I think, which is a free app. But I wonder if it's gone. Oh, it's on. Okay, it's on Amazon Prime for free as well now. So, yeah, if anyone wants to watch Scream 4 tonight, it's out there for free. And yeah, Shauna would make a good Ghostface. That bitch is crazy and ruthless and brutal. Yeah, she'd be good. Thank you so much for your super chat. And yes, Stu lives. You know it. Let's see. Thomas says, do you think Judy had Wes from Dewey and that's why NYC didn't work out for him? But Judy never disclosed it to Wes, so he thinks Dewey was just a drunk. Maybe Gail finds out in 7. So it's funny you mentioned that. I do believe I did a theory video on this like a year ago at this point. Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Will they reveal that? Probably not. Could it make sense? Yes, I think it could. Um I'm trying to think, what was my video called? Let me try to find this. It's called, okay, it was 9 months ago. It's called Is This Scream Character Wes Hicks' Father? So if anyone wants to check that out. um yeah. Oh, and I see actually Destination Station had the same theory 3 years ago. Interesting. I didn't even realize he did that. Um I think it's possible. Derek says Scream 3 needed more than one Ghostface. Yeah, I feel like we should never do the single Ghostface ever again. I feel like we need at least two. Nicholas says, do you think some of the writers are watching videos by you and other Scream fans for ideas? I do. I absolutely do. I think there's no way they're not seeing it. Um, I'm sure they're curious, like what fans are thinking, what they want to see. Um, and it's like a lot of our videos end up being mentioned in articles from like official sources. So it's like I feel like it's unavoidable for the writers and everyone to they have to see some of it. You know, I feel like I was saying yesterday in the stream, like the Stew movement, even though it technically existed since Scream 3, because the original plan was for Stu to come back in Scream 3, there's been Stu believers for decades, but I feel like it really was not that big until Scream 5 came out and fans started making their theories. So they have to see it. I think Kirby is a ghost face, but she only goes after other ghost faces. That's interesting. Kind of like Dexter. Angie says, someone mentioning Smile reminds me of how much they wasted Kyle Gallner in Scream 5. Still salty about that. You and me both. Such a wasted character. So much potential. Robert says, I have a video coming out in a month featuring Stu, Jill, and Charlie. It's going to upset a lot of people. Damn. What could it be? Christopher says Stu and Jill are the only two ghost faces of the past that are destined to return. Yeah, definitely the most likely, in my opinion. Yeah, there's no way. You're probably just trolling. Richie was shot in the head. He was stabbed like 22 times. His throat was slit, and then she shot him in the head. This is the first time I've heard this. You remind me of a mix of Mariah Carey and Jennifer Tilly. Interesting. I never got those two. Judy Hicks should have lived. Yeah, her death was sad, but like Scream 5 needed some big deaths. Hey Thomas, I am doing well. Thank you. I hope you are too. I feel like if we have any survivors from the past films return, I would love if Hallie from Scream 2 Returns, because if I remember correctly, she didn't get as badly stabbed as Randy. I don't remember. Like, doesn't does she get her throat slit, or does she just like get stabbed in the stomach or something? But I feel like she is dead for sure. Scream 7 theaters need to have the same excitement as the theater in Scream 2 opening. Imagine they sold Ghostface costumes as well. I hope so. Have you ever met David Arquette? He's going to be at this fan con thingy in my state called Mad Monster soon, and I might go. I have not met him. I've never been to a horror convention. I need to go. Isn't Dewey a lot older than Judy? I think it's probably like an 8-year difference, which honestly is not that crazy. Because if they got together, they both would have been adults at the time. Yeah, so like because Judy's the same age as Sydney. They were in school together, and Dewey in the first movie he was 25, and Sydney was 17. So 8-year age difference for Dewey and Judy. Yeah, Wes was already born during Scream 4. But who knows, like, when Judy joined the force? Or just it being a small town, they could have been friends, like, they could have known each other. Hey, Chris. Yes, I did see the Dexter Resurrection photos today. They look great. I am going to do a video tomorrow about it. Kirby and Sam Dexter team up. That would be amazing. You should give an audition for Scream 8. You got that final girl energy that makes it out alive. If I was an actress, I would, but I'm just not. I feel like I don't have what it takes to be an actress. In your opinion, what other foods besides popcorn and lemon squares should be added as a staple in the Scream diet? Um, I feel like they don't really eat many things in the movie. Oh, I gotta go with Cheetos because of Kenny, the cameraman. Definitely Cheetos, which they also feature in Scream 6. Maybe isn't Randy in Scream 2 has Baskin Robbins ice cream. So let's go with Cheetos and ice cream. And also in Scream 6, Sam gets like the diet cherry soda dumped on her. So that's what I'm adding to the Scream diet. Um, are we talking about Richie here? Richie was shot in the head at the end. Like, she does it for just to make sure. I think. Um, Let me see if I can look up the scene. Yeah, it looks like he gets his brains blown out. Yeah, it comes out the top of his head. Yeah, Dewey was only 25 in the first movie. So I am older than Dewey in the first movie. That doesn't feel right. I am 28, almost 29. I'll be 29 in June. So every time I watch Scream and I'm like, I'm older than Dewey, like that doesn't make sense. Hey Carrie. Welcome to the stream. We are gonna wrap up in a few minutes. But I think I'm gonna go live tomorrow as well. So hopefully you can make that one too. Favorite Scream movie, definitely the first one, but the fourth one is my favorite sequel. Everyone hit like or I'm entering the wilderness. Yes, please. Everyone who is here, all 57 of you guys, I appreciate you. Please give the stream a like. Yeah, gotta include the Cheetos. Oh yeah, they eat grapes at the fountain. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, Scream 4, according to Google, is on Amazon Prime for free and Plex, I think it was. Yeah. The giant, small Diet Pepsi Maureen got in Scream 2. Bye, Tom. Thank you for stopping by. Y'all are forgetting about the two different pizzas in Scream 2. The one Cece was eating and the one Dewey stepped in. Yeah, you know, I feel like I can't even picture those scenes, which is crazy. I always say, like, the amount of times that I've seen these movies, you know, there's still something new to catch every time. Like, are you talking about when Cece's on the phone? Is she eating a pizza in that scene? And when does Dewey step? Oh, is it when Ghostface is like chasing after them, kind of in the college building? Pizza does sound good right now. All right, you guys, I'm gonna call it a night. We've been streaming for over an hour. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, gotta have the Scream diet when you're watching a Scream movie. Thank you, Alex. I will most likely stream tomorrow as well, so stay tuned for that. New Yellow Jackets video dropping tonight, if anyone here is a Yellow Jackets fan. And Scream content coming soon. We have one last super chat. Do you think Stumacher is cool? Of course, he's the coolest. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Yeah, the streams, I took a break because I wasn't feeling well, but we are back. Stu is the GOAT. No worries. Hopefully you can join tomorrow. All right, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you soon.